Thank you, Andrew, and hello, everyone. Well, there's Mark Riddell in a state of prayer. He wants some divine intervention. This minor premiership, they want it, and they want to rid themselves of that round 5 shellacking embarrassment at the hands of Brisbane at Suncorp. That was April the 10th. The Eels online tonight to take their first minor premiership since 2001. And this man is a miracle man, is he not? Shane Webcke, 1 week away. We thought he was gone for the season, and he's back. Wonderful atmosphere here at Parramatta Stadium. The last round of the regular season, and they are absolutely jammed in. Webcke takes them out. No lock here tonight. Several stars out. But their record, as Andrew pointed out, against the Eels, particularly here at Parramatta, is incredible. 11 of the last 12. Berrick Barnes will tour Argentina with the Reds. When he finishes with the Broncos, that's him in the headgear. Brent Tate is considering taking out a patent on that neck guard. They've got so many missing, but they've still got a good side. Here comes the Eels. Win, and it's their minor premiership. The JJ Gilton and Shield, and $100,000. A loss could see them come in as low as 3. For Brisbane, it's win, first or second. Lose, it's second, third or fourth. What a weekend of football. Not just the minor premiership, the wooden spoon. What about the Tigers if they get beaten? The Storm or the Cowboys will go to number 4. Tahu got his first contract at 15, which he believes took him from a life on the skids in Burke. Tahu's back. Smith's gone for his big guns tonight.
And with Nathan Kalis back to the interchange bench, Nathan Hindmarsh led the side out. That would indicate he will make the decisions out there as skipper until the number 8 is brought into the match.
Paul Simpkins has the whistle. Phil Gould in the box with Peter Sterling. They both know about minor premierships and grand finals. One of the stars of last Sunday, Burt, kicks off. Brisbane bring it back. Goes straight to the master. Webcke. Captain Shane. Now, his faithful sidekick, Sivan Asiva, who captained for the second time last weekend. Tate, 3 big hombres. Tate 1, 2 and 3. Webcke, Sivan Asiva, and Thorne, I should have said. Now Carroll to the 40. Morris involved with Robinson. Seymour, also a week out of the game, the halfback, declaring himself available. McKinnon back in the side for Reddy. Taken down by Tate and Minto. Minto wearing the 3 jumper, though he's playing number 1 on the right side. Growth. No sense of holding anybody back with Brian Smith, as I pointed out. He's brought McKinnon back, Tahu back, Growth back. And here's Morrison. Stringer's been in good form. Penalty goes Parramatta. Never got back the 10 was Brisbane.
Don't you love getting those early in a game? The penalty late in the tackle count really builds the pressure up. Again, Brian Smith opting to play Eric Growth and Ben Smith on the left side, even though Tamana Tahu back in. We're playing the right. Vella, his first touch is a good one.
Coach Smith giving Vella as much football as he can. Thus, Kalis starts from the bench. Stringer's almost gone right through. Webcke pulled him down eventually, but they're 10 out, middle of the ground. Riddell. Tackler was Berrigan, the hooker. Morris. Oh, Hindmarsh. I think he's done his knee. Hindmarsh has hurt his knee.
Ah, dear. Every Parramatta fan watching in the world, whether you're here at the ground or on TV, is now holding their breath to see if this fella gets up. Was plenty of stress in his face.
Just looked bad immediately, didn't it? Brett Seymour going in, making a very low tackle.
Stretcher.
Wasn't conventional, and you can see that Nathan Hindmarsh is concerned.
Andrew.
Well, this is quite dramatic. You're right about every Parramatta fan watching, holding their breath. Nathan Kalis now on his feet. The strategy with Nathan Kalis was he was going to come in the match the moment you saw a Shane Webke or a Petro Sivana come from the field. I mean, this is dramatic stuff. Now the Parra chant up. You look at the face of that young bloke. He can't get his face out of his hands, but it's almost as if this chant is trying to lift Nathan Hindmarsh to his feet. Incredible stuff to start the match.
I mean, are we looking at Parramatta's season?
Oh, don't say that.
Well, it's the first thought that went through my mind. This is the modern-day Ray Price.
It's the first thought that went through everyone's mind. It was the first thought that went through Nathan Hindmarsh's mind. He wanted to get up.
Onside, 2 feet.
He refused to stretch, or he wants to walk
Cut
back
the ball.
to his position on the bench. Oh, don't write him off, hopefully.
Smith, Robinson,
Right last, then.
Sivanasiva, and Smith making the tackle. Tim Smith now, little kick, cleaned up and forced. They will get another 6. Tate was the man in the in goal. Now the human chair for Nathan Hindmarsh.
He tried to put some of his own body weight on it in a short walk of 20 metres. But they've had to resort to carrying him around.
Can you believe it? Seymour went in with a low tackle. Hindmarsh just raised his knee to protect the straight leg. So you don't want to get tackled with a straight leg. You want your knee to be bent when you tackle.
Vella.
That's one. Movement now. Hold.
Webke and Sivanasiva making the tackle. Stringer. He's lost the ball there. Scrum will go down 30 away from the Brisbane line. We'll get some news on Nathan Hindmarsh as quickly as we can. Michael Johnston is waiting for him. I can see down at the benches as he's carried back. That's Johnston, the doctor.
We're up.
Plenty of concern down on the sideline, and on the other side of the coin, a very strong start from Shane Webke. Coming in with a medial problem. Wayne Bennett would have been tempted to give him another week, but the big fella wanted to play tonight. Very good shot moments ago, and Michael Vella as Berrigan strives to get to the halfway.
Sean Berrigan wearing 6. Barry playing 9. Seymour, Webke both handled before Carroll. Halfway line, centre ground. Morrison and Morris making the tackle. There they go again. Darren Smith offloading for Tate. Tate's away! There's trouble for the Parramatta fullback. They put it down. Minto couldn't take it.
Ball's already gone.
Into touch. Forward.
Yeah, he's actually got him forward, because I think you'll find that Eric Growth actually touches the football as it goes over the sideline. Beautiful ball to commit 2 defenders. That pass has been ruled forward. And Parramatta dodge a bullet there.
It was great work by Eric Growth Jr. Tremendous work. He didn't worry about Tate. He trusted his fullback. He says, if the ball comes to Minto, I'll get you. That's exactly what he did. Tremendous wing play.
Hold. Go.
Parramatta then 12 metres away from their own line as Kalis into the game much earlier than expected. 10 metres in from the eastern side. They are defending the southern end of the ground. This is Chad Robinson. Just outside the 20-metre line as Tahu fends away with the right hand. Barry Berrigan was on the end of it, and then Webke goes in with Darren Smith to make the tackle. He plays the ball quickly. They're outside the 40. Riddell goes for a run. He gets the ball away on the halfway line. He loses it there. The Parramatta support, John Morris, has lost it. 0-0 after 5 1/4, and Hindmarsh. There's the replay of the pass and then the loss of the ball by Morris. And we're taking you in closer with Hindmarsh's knee and the inspection by the doctor.
Lock it, bind in. Ball in. Out.
There's Carmichael Hunt. And now away for Tate again. He said, I had success here before. He's had it again.
And now.
He got rid of Ben Smith again.
Hold.
Now the Broncos attacking. inside the 20-metre line. Hunt combines with Darren Smith, who tries to find an opening between the forwards, but it's a penalty Brisbane. Parramatta this time. Brisbane going for the shot.
I've said this a few times, but that was tackle 2. The Broncos were full of running, 5 metres out from the line. Their momentum is interrupted with a penalty, and now you're forced to take the 2 points, kick a goal, which is not a bad result for Parramatta. Brent Tate has given Ben Smith a cold in the first few minutes. I don't think Eric Growth is helping Ben Smith. He's giving him a bit too much field to mark. Eric's got to tail off a little bit there. If Tate goes around Smith, he's also got to go around Growth. That will help. The pair have got to get the communication going there. But this was a situation where the referee should have been allowed to let play go on, then come back to a penalty infringement if he thought they were blatantly offside. 2 points here isn't a bad result for either side, I guess.
Go to the sideline on the back end of this kick. That is Seymour, who is almost certain to take first points in the game. It is 2-0 in favour of Brisbane. Andrew sideline. What's the story?
Yeah, looking down, look, the initial report on Nathan Hindmarsh, you can see here just getting treatment. They're saying hyperextension of the knee, and they were checking for ligament damage. Now, we're confident now that it may only just be a ligament strain. That is the best news of all. No fracture, maybe a ligament strain. We'll catch a word with the doctor shortly, Rebs.
Well, that's one thing we can tell you, that Michael Johnston, the doctor, one of the leading orthopaedic surgeons in all of Sydney, and he'll make himself available, I guarantee you that. Nathan's sitting there quite relaxed. He doesn't seem to be in any pain. As Burt restarts, it's 2-0 in favour of Brisbane. As Captain Courageous brings it back, Shane Wetke. He was the man that I guess we all came here wondering, well, how far is he going to get? Will he get there?
Movement.
And it's Hindmarsh who's off the park with a knee injury. Darren Smith, steamrolling run. He went straight over the top of Tim Smith, the number 7.
I was just watching Shane Webke after that charge. He did limp for a little while. He's still not 100%, so it's a brave effort being out there as Seymour kicks on the halfway, straight to Wade McKinnon.
McKinnon bringing it back towards his own 30-metre line, but they've got him on the front end loader and pushed him back a good 5 metres, Barry Berrigan and Shane Webke. Now Growth does a bit of a light step around Webke. But I think it's Barnes underneath there. Both headgear players were in it, Barnes and Smith. So Stringer there rolls it out towards the 40-metre line. Tackle 3 is down for Parramatta. They're down 2-0 on the scoreboard as Riddell throws a dummy to Vella, gives it to Morris. Morris thinks he sees an opening, but Tony Carroll, one of the most punishing defenders, was there over the top of Darren Smith, who was down low. Here's Luke Burt,
Hands up.
who equalled the club individual point scoring record against Canberra last Sunday. The kick is nicely weighted. It's going to have to be played out. Bottas with the ball. He will make it back into the field of play. He's done better than that. He's gone 10, he's gone 20. He's going down the eastern touchline. He's out to the 40. Turns the ball on the inside, and it's Sean Berrigan. He gets away from Michael Vella. Now they're inside the Parramatta 40. They're 35 out from the Parramatta line. They are good metres in anybody's language. Leon Bott and Sean Berrigan. Now Carmichael Hunt. Morrison goes high, wraps the ball up. 25 out, centre ground in the Telstra sign. As it's come from Barry Berrigan away for Seymour, who just jinxed and put a punctuation mark in things. Nearly 10 minutes gone, 2-0 in favour of Brisbane. As Barnes dummies back on the inside to Sivan Asiva, but he's taken down by Robinson and by Stringer. They're 15 out, right in front of the uprights, as it comes from Berrigan and goes to Darren Smith. Tate goes inside, Tate straightens up, but he's tackled a couple of metres from the line. Pulled down by Stringer. They're really stretched Parramatta. Thorne, a block-busting run. Did he get the ball down? Referee is going to rule that he's held up.
As we saw last week, Jason Smith targeting Tim Smith. As Phil Gould pointed out, Brad Thorne covered a lot of metres to get around, to get at Tim Smith. And it was very nearly fruitful as Eric Growth keeps it alive. Finds its way eventually to Morrison. Ducks under 1, just short of the 20.
I fancy that call from Simpkins was almost a touch judge call. Oh, here's a good bust made by Parramatta's Robinson. He's down the middle, still going, gets it back on the inside. McKinnon, as he's always, is there to support. He will play the ball, 20 out, Parramatta attacking, Riddell up to the 10-metre line, stands and thrusts the ball away. Tim Smith has got the ball, gets it away to Kalis, he gets it on to Vella, Vella gets it to Morris, Morris gives it away to Tim Smith, he gets the ball away, it's gone out to Tahu, Tahu beats a couple, beats three, stands in the fourth, goes down in the fifth, 2 metres out from the line. Here goes Riddell from dummy half, Brisbane. Shouldering arms, and he will play the ball a metre from the line. Tahu dummy half. Tim Smith kicks in. There they go. Minto missed the ball. It's been forced by Ben Smith. Minto, I think, is claiming to get a hand to it, but Ben Smith is just as sure that it is a legal try for Parramatta.
I don't think it's a strong claim there from Scott Minto. The crowd love it at that end of the field, and they'd had a pretty good view of that one as well. The Parramatta chasers are actually heading infield. There's no problem with any offside there. Scott Minto gets a touch there. Certainly no downward pressure anywhere. That's a try to Ben Smith, backing up some great work last week to get on the scoreboard 3 times. He might have been beaten a couple of times by Brent Tate, but he's got one back there.
Oh, what an amazing passage of play. I said before the game, there's a heavy dew on this field tonight. They've left the grass a little bit longer, and Scott Minto slipped in the in goal there trying to get to the ball. It's come up for Parramatta and will please the crowd no end. Up they go.
Now Hindmarsh is being chaired up the tunnel. 12 minutes gone. His team is in front 4 points to 2.
There was great lead-up work, putting them in this position. Plenty of hands involved, and Scott Minto, the ball was running away from him. Ben didn't score, then Eric Graith was on hand to do so.
There's no recovery on a slippery surface. See, Tate goes over there. Now Minto will come in hard. The ball skids off the wet turf. There's no recovery. You can't turn and chase. Smith was coming on the direct line and got the grab. Here's the kick. No problems.
Gee, that's a confident call, Gus. He's taken a shading of paint off the inside edge of the upright, but you got it right, Hawkeye. 6-2 to score, 13 gone. Eels in front now. Welcome back on Nine's Friday Night Football. Thank you for joining us, as you have done, many of you, right through the 26 weeks as we come to the finals next weekend.
This is an outstanding crowd here tonight. Great atmosphere. A sign of the finals that we've got coming up live in the next few weeks. They were a little bit nervous when Nathan Hindmarsh left the field, but their troops have restored their confidence. It's game on again.
There's Vella coming back to be tackled by Barnes.
I guess if there's any good news out of Nathan Hindmarsh going off is the fact they've got so much depth there, Parramatta. Of course, they can drop Kalis back, but on the bench, Dean Witters and Fui Moi Moi both are back rowers. There's Stringer, again, who started this game very strongly. And there's the remainder of the bench left.
Morrison there. To the 40-metre line, Parramatta will have to get through with 16 players. The Stringer again puts his hand up for work and runs into Darren Smith and Shane Webb kick.
Work hand, no early.
Halfway line for Parramatta now. They lead 6-2 with a converted try versus a penalty. As Riddell drops it in behind the winger. But Carmichael Hunt is there to field it and bring it back, and he's picked up and driven down 10 metres out from his own line.
I love that play. I love dummy half kicking the ball in big games.
Minto now.
And then making the tackle, he led the way down there, Mark Riddell. Broncos threw Brad Thorne out of their own end.
Just inside the 30-metre line, the big fellow who left the Brisbane Broncos, went to the other game, made the All Blacks. Now he's back. Sean Berrigan. Slipping and sliding like an eel underneath the Eels. And Berrigan missed to fix it in the Brisbane club. Plays it on the halfway line. Barnes puts a nice little kick in. Carroll leads the race, puts another kick in. Nice kick from Carroll. It'll be too deep. It'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
That's very unlucky for Brisbane. Very well executed there. The little kick in behind, nothing that Parramatta could do about that. They went to the line, dropped it on the boot. If the second kick had been into the in-goal area, they score.
Growth. Wrestling with Webke and Thorne. And eventually the two big Broncos forwards win that battle. Although Thorne is the last to rise. Played by Vella. Riddell comes out from dummy half now. Straight up the middle. He's already left a very big imprint on the game. From Morris, it's gone to Tim Smith. He cuts out Morris and goes over to Tahu, who tries to get himself in a one-on-one situation with Berrigan, which Berrigan wins that little encounter. And now Tim Smith puts it on the boot again. A trainer's gone down in back play. Ben Smith is after Minto. They make the tackle. They make the tackle in goal. Ben Smith and Chad Robinson.
Nice control. Beautifully placed. What's the trainer slip over here? I told you it was wet. Told you it was wet. He's gone over. Trying to get out of the way.
It's like a nice freak out there.
I saw the Eels train during the week, and they did kick the football early in the tackle count, looking to catch Carmichael Hunt up in some defensive line. Kicked early there. Been a real unsung hero as Chad Robinson. It was a good chase with Ben Smith. Stringer again. Plenty of touches early in this match.
One, movement.
Just outside the 30-metre line then. Brisbane's end of the ground. 6 points to 2 in favour of the home side, Parramatta, who, as I pointed out, have got an abysmal record against Brisbane here. They've lost 11 of the last 12. They've lost 5 of the last 7 encounters, both sides of the border, against Brisbane as they knock on Parramatta. And referee Simpkins is ordering a knock on and a scrum. Knocked on by Morrison. There's Dennis Fitzgerald, the chief executive of Parramatta, checking, I guess, firsthand on the health of his, I guess, his number one troop, Nathan Hindmarsh. Fitzgerald described their first half in round 5 when they were down 42 blot as a total humiliation and embarrassment to the Parramatta club. Strangely enough, that's about where Parramatta turned it around and have gone through to be number 1 in the league at the moment.
Stringer off, Moi on, just involved in that tackle at marker now.
54-14 had finished that night. Parramatta going down miserably to Brisbane, but this is a different side. Darren Smith trying to pump this left-hand Parramatta defensive side where they've had a bit of success.
Different side in performance, Ray, but there are 12 members in each team who played that day, which is still a bulk. That Parramatta side, just 5 members who weren't involved in that one. Last tackle now.
And it's gone into the hands of Berrick Barnes, and he delicately punches it down into that corner. So it'll come back out 20 in from touch, 10 out from the goal line. Parramatta's end of the ground, and Parramatta leading 6-2.
The mail out of Brisbane this week that the Broncos have actually trained very, very well for this. Those in the camp said it was just a different feel for some reason, playing against Parramatta under a little bit of adversity. The thought of that man coming back, Shane Webke, just a little bit of a different feel in the Broncos. They are up for this clash. There's no doubt about it. They look very swift.
It's John Morris now. Cut down just outside his own 10-metre line. Playing it back to Wade McKinnon, and then it goes to Morrison, and just a little play around the play the ball there that they were hoping might open something up. Eventually, Robinson was tackled. Here goes this man again, Riddell. And I'm just looking to see how many metres he's gained with his handles, but it certainly has been a vital part of what Parramatta's done so far. Sivanasiva, the tackler there. Moi with his first carry. McKinnon dummy half. Tim Smith at first receiver. Morris, and then a bat on by Burt. It was okay. It went along the line. It didn't go forward off the hands. Tahu plays the ball on the far side of the ground. Morris comes back to Tim Smith, and away they go with the boot again. And this one is going down behind them into the in goal. Lovely weight on it. Minto getting back this time. Getting back early, and then almost submitting in the tackle, which at the same time was a good one from Robinson. Here's Hunt. 3 changes made by Brian Smith. One of them, of course, was a forced change. Wayne Bennett, as yet, has not pressed the button. 22 metres away from the Brisbane line there. 6-2 in favour of Parramatta. Friday night football on 9. And reminding you that next weekend we go into the first weekend of finals, and you'll see them all live on Channel 9. Live and exclusive on 9 from Friday through Sunday. Here's Carroll with a bumping, buffeting, don't argue run up towards halfway.
Great run. That's a great run.
Seymour then with a right foot kick that goes down. Might have ricocheted a little bit off a Parramatta player, but it's got nice direction on it. McKinnon getting back into the field of play. Oh, he stands bot up and goes around him, fends off Berrigan, beats a third, goes down under the fourth from Sivanasiva. That was a tremendous kick return from McKinnon. Here's Burt with the ball now, swivelling out of a very, very ordinary tackle by Sivanasiva.
Well, he needs to be in good forward, Wayne McKinnon, because Joel Reddy was outstanding the last 3 weeks. Putting some pressure on the fullback position there. Nathan Kalis gets an offload. Moi now on a standing start. Crowd comes alive.
It's really not the way to give Moi the ball, by the way. PJ Marsh with it now. Moi needs to get back and get a head of steam up. Morris runs it. Oh, that's off the hands forward from Kalis. He'll pack a scrum. 6-2 is the score. Friday night football on 9. Back with you in a moment. Friday night football on 9. 6-2 in favour of the Eels. Andrew Voss sideline.
And the tension of the game, the scoreline, the good start by the Broncos, the injury to the Nathan Hindmarsh as well. It's probably all taken its toll a little on the crowd. They're just absorbed by the action at the moment. It's compelling viewing, and one rep for one player in particular, Brent Tate on this right side for the Broncos tonight, outstanding. You talk about your senior players, and Brent Tate is that now, standing up tonight. Well, he's doing that.
Sivanasiva playing the ball 30 metres away from the Eels line as it comes to Hunt, doing what he did the other night in Brisbane, living up at 5/8 in the absence of Lockyer. Berrigan, short ball, Fawn, pulled down by Tim Smith. That was a big ask on the Parramatta 7. He got the job done. Webke now, the pass goes wildly along on the second bounce to Barnes, and Barnes goes back, hunting on the blind side, but runs into his opposite number and is pulled down there jointly with Nathan Kalis's help. And now it's gone to Seymour. He puts a kick in, came off Parramatta, went back and hit Brisbane, came forward into the in goal. It'll be an interesting ruling. This is going to order a line dropper.
Well, he's going to say rebound, rebound. Rebound, rebound. Here's the kick from Seymour into a Parramatta player, back to Seymour's head, a Falcon, beautifully weighted off the head, into the in goal, line dropout.
It's a nice soccer skills, Brisbane, haven't they? Andrew, sideline.
Oh, look, now the news on Nathan Hindmarsh. Well, it's gone from bad, first of all, to improving to very bad again. Now, Dr. Michael Johnson is on the phone as we speak in the Parramatta dressing room. He's trying to tee up an MRI scan tonight for Nathan Hindmarsh. His fear now is that there is posterior cruciate ligament damage. That would be the season for Nathan Hindmarsh.
Carroll. 22 metres out from the Parramatta line. Sivanasiva taking it towards centre, wedging it at about 45 degrees. That line is the 10-metre line out from the southern uprights, which Parramatta are defending. And then Berrigan, and now Hunt. Now, did Thorne get in the road? They're going close to the line, Carroll, and he's ruled the ball has gone forward.
Forward pass. Would have been a difficult one to throw forward because he threw it behind a teammate. This is the most I've ever seen the Broncos work over another team tactically in a long time, particularly without Darren Lockyer. They're really working to a pattern here on the edges of the field. Big men on small men. Broncos aren't normally like that. They just play their own game.
They're doing it mistake-free as well. Just the one error from Brisbane so far in this game, 4 to Parramatta. And they've been in pretty good position as Glenn Morrison across field. Offloads Ben Smith, shows a shocker over the sideline. This isn't controlled, this isn't composed, but they're being frustrated into it by this start in the first 23 minutes from the opposition.
Well, Eric Growth Jr. wasn't watching. There was a half chance there, but he wasn't watching at all. Ben Smith just quick hands. He's Dean Withers onto the field, interchange. Broncos have yet to go for one.
Ball in.
Interchange, I mean.
Out.
24 minutes gone. As Barnes is tackled in the centre of the park, 15 away from the Parramatta line. Berrigan, the hooker, away for Webke. Webke holding Withers away with one arm as he forces forward PJ Marsh with the other hip. Then Moi comes in, and the three of them eventually stop Webke.
Go.
Barry Berrigan looks at Sivanasiva, goes behind him, gives it to Barnes. Barnes gets it away. This is Thigh Day. A couple of metres out from the line. He'll play the ball. Brisbane again pressing. Parramatta, the leading or the second leading team of defence. As a try is there for Sivanasiva. He's not going upstairs. He's pointing to the ground. Sivanasiva, a try for Brisbane. Sivanasiva gets over the line for Brisbane to level after 25 minutes.
And he got his first try last week for the season. He's put them back to back. And somehow they've been able to, this close to the line, just isolate one-on-one. He frees it there. You can see he starts coming in and will head that way, and eventually it's just the one defender in Michael Vella who'll have to make the tackle. He can't. Slides across, the referee in great position. Wade McKinnon tries to get the boot in underneath the ball. This has been coming for a while. We said they looked ominous. Well, they've turned that pressure into points.
One try, one goal to both sides, but Brisbane are holding one more kick as Petro Sivanasiva returns to his side of the halfway line after getting his second try of the season.
He's got really good service out of his troops so far, Wayne Bennett. They have made just the one interchange now. It was Brad Thorne who went off. Friday, a good touch. He looked like he was going to score just before Sivanasiva crossed.
Shots of the crowd in the background. You can see it's jam-packed Parramatta Stadium. It's a stadium that takes you to the football. This is the way people love it. Lean over the fence. You can almost smell the liniment. Seymour, 20 in. Easy kick relief for a first-grade kicker, and he's got it. So Seymour boots Brisbane back to that 2-point lead after 27.
Geez, you know, Barry Berrigan makes a big difference to this team. Of all the ball players at the Broncos, Barry Berrigan is the one best at picking up a decoy runner. Now, Petro Sivanasiva had been a decoy close to the line on his previous 3 charges, but that time Berrigan got out, saw that he was one-on-one, and gave the big man the ball. Earlier in the year, the Broncos' changing fortunes were all around that dummy half-man, Barry Berrigan, a very important player for that team.
So Brisbane just putting their nose in front again.
That's one.
This is gripping, isn't it? This is September.
So Thigh Day with the ball now. 20 metres out from his line. And now Berrigan back on the inside for Tate. Well, this is the sort of confrontation that the critics of the McIntyre system are suggesting should be happening in week 1 of our finals, with teams in the top 4 playing each other. Now it's back to Darren Smith, a pass across the face, finding Minto, and he's flung to the ground by Growth. Played back for Barry Berrigan, then on for Seymour. Growth puts a charge on him as Burt marks it down inside his own 20-metre line. And now McKinnon comes away to be met by a 3-man Brisbane tackle. Burt escaping the tackle of Tate, but claimed there by Barnes. Marsh for Moi Moi. Running it straight at Barry Berrigan, who's not very well after putting his head in the wrong place. He wobbles back into position as PJ Marsh goes scampering away. A couple of metres onto Brisbane side of halfway. 8-6 in favour of Brisbane now. Nathan Kalis up to the 40-metre line. This is for the minor premiership, this one. If Parramatta can win it, $100,000. Brisbane are putting themselves in with a chance of still taking it. Hunt. There's that ground. Exemplified the slipperiness on the top of it. Minto.
Should just point out why that is a certainty. If Parramatta wins this game, that they would finish one. It's because of their differential. It is far superior to anybody else. Brisbane won this one, they would still be concerned with the Dragons on Sunday as to whether they won the game and by what margin.
There's the differential for Parramatta, as you can see. 442 away from 676. It's by far and away the biggest and the best. Barry Berrigan and using Thigh Day, who's got the number 8 on his back in expectation, I suppose, that Webke would not play. Seymour kicks on halfway. Sean Berrigan is after it. Andrew Voss is on the sideline. Yes, Andrew?
Yeah, Ray, we monitor the interchange closely all season. I mean, this is a unique situation tonight to have 30 minutes elapsed in a game of football and have your interchange 5-1. Parramatta, 5 changes first half, and only one of those forced by injury. And Broncos, Wayne Bennett holding all his cards back. Just the one change with Thorne on the bench at the moment.
Ben Smith now.
I think you'd find that the average for most teams in the first half would be about 5 interchange. So that may mean that Brian Smith would be looking at the next 10 minutes with the players he's got out there to take him through to the break as PJ Marsh has a second man pass. They go wide through Morris.
Now they try to straighten it up with Kalis. And Kalis does well, gets it back on the inside for Widders. A sliding Dean Widders, finding Luke Burt. It goes to Tim Smith. He rifles the pass out to his namesake. It goes to Morrison and then goes into touch. We'll take a break. It is 8-6 Brisbane at the moment. Welcome back to Friday Night Football from Parramatta Stadium, where there is no doubt there'll be another game next weekend.
He just didn't read this well, Ray, Eric Grant. When he saw that Glenn Morrison was going to get involved in behind Ben Smith, which was a good play from Morrison, he had to sit back and wait. He had to know that Morrison was going to come in and change where he needed, or what time he needed to run onto the ball.
Play by Sean Berrigan now. Sivan Asiva, the Brisbane try scorer, muscled to the ground by Moimoi and Morrison. Then Berrigan for Thaiday, who's had a busy entry into the game. He's out to the 40-metre line. There's been some quality about his ball carries. Darren Smith, the evergreen. If it was a red wine, you'd probably be spending $500 or $600 to buy him. Now it's away from Barnes. Gone across to Seymour. He jolts and turns it, and Barnes, good hands, and then he's found a forward pass, Simpkins.
Oh!
Gee, this is a tight call.
Is it what? Is it what? He might be right. He might be right, Paul Simpkins. But there's nothing in it.
No, it's left the hands forward. He's got it right, Simpkins. That's going to hurt you, Gus, to admit that, but he has got it right.
Second one was forward too, didn't matter.
Now Wayne Bennett has a luxury with these interchanges. Both his starting front rowers off, getting a good break. Thaiday out there. Thorne back into the action as Parramatta. 8 minutes to go, looking to get the lead before the break.
John Morris taking play over towards the centre of the park. Halfway line, a metre in front of him. Marsh, dummy half for Stringer to take it into Thorne and Thaiday. Just a couple of metres gained there by the front row forward. Marsh again, Tim Smith again, Kalis out there. He's relishing his work over on the right side, out a little bit wider. Moimoi doing some of the harder work up the middle, if it is harder work, that is, he and Stringer. Moimoi, he's improved lengths and lengths since he came to Sydney. Now it's gone from Tim Smith and a banana kick, hooking back and across towards Carmichael Hunt, and he's with the ball, but he's tackled 8 metres out by Glenn Morrison, and John Morris plays it back to Minto, who made that mistake earlier on, but we've since seen that really it's not hard to make a mistake with the ball on the ground tonight. And of course it's always a good plan to kick to tall, gangly people like Minto. Played by Thorne, Berrigan passes, finds Seymour, growing in confidence with every game that he plays. Seymour filling that huge set of boots that the club had to fill. Barnes has been hammered by Moimoi. Barnes hit by Moimoi. Now, I don't think there's anything foul about it.
A few of the Brisbane players believe it was a bit high.
Okay. Let's see what the replay says. Yeah, it looks like he might have got him around the head. I thought for a moment it was quite okay. It was just a matter of big man on small man.
I think it's come up off the ball, hasn't it? He was falling, Barnes. Barnes was falling, and the right arm will come up off the ball, up underneath his chin. I mean, I guess there has been contact, but quite accidentally. And Barnes contributed. He was slipping away from the tackler.
It'll be a penalty, but it shouldn't be any more than that. It definitely comes up off the ball.
Berrick Barnes doesn't quite care where it came from. All he knows is it damn hurt, and it still hurt. Paul Simpkins, he hasn't given his order yet. The bloke upstairs would have been tipping to him.
That last angle did look worse for Moy, who has had some problems with the judiciary this season.
Video referee's reviewed it. There's head contact. Going on report.
Okay, so it's going further than just a penalty. It's going to be reviewed come Monday. Mick Stone is the video ref.
I think he was unlucky, Moy. I think he was dead set unlucky there. Things like that just happen on the football field.
So Brisbane with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go before the halftime break. They lead by 2, and it is their turn. It is their serve. 20 out, 25 in from touch. Played by Costigan, passed by Berrigan, gone to Hunt, and he passes right on the line to Sean Berrigan. That's the 10-metre line. They're pressing the Parramatta try line now. Here's Barnes away for Thaiday, and Thaiday crashes over as he threatened to do earlier in the night. And Thaiday has scored Brisbane's second try. They lead by 12-6 with a kick to come.
Perseverance in that run and plenty of purpose. They had a couple of players running into the one hole there. And he's had quite an impact coming in off the bench tonight. You see here the two players on the outside of Berrick Barnes. If he frees it there, look at them both heading into that hole there. And as play continues, it's a collision. Glenn Morrison goes in. The fact that he's put him onto Costigan almost comes back at him, forcing him out of the tackle. And Thaiday gets a very important try close to half-time.
Well, Morrison had to tackle two of them. Look at that kabang. He thinks he's tackling Thaiday. He's tackling Thaiday with Costigan on his back. He was carrying the grandstand, Costigan. He's had to tackle two of them. There's Berrigan, who threw the good pass, looking a bit worse for wear. But Sam Thaiday had a jockey. There's Big Sam. He's big enough on his own. He didn't need another 70 or 80 kilos riding on his back and delivering it straight into Morrison.
He felt like Maccabi Diva.
Oh, did he? What? He was carrying the grandstand. And Morrison went into a collision with Thaiday and ended up with more than he could bargain for. Get out of my way, they said.
So Seymour from in front converts the try. It's 14-6. Go to the sideline. I'll work out with Gus if it's Thaiday or Tie-Day. I don't know what it is. Andrew, can you help me?
I know you do your best, Ray. You're on your own. Look, just on this Broncos side tonight, this match is shaping as one that maybe won in the third quarter of the game. This is like your old KB Cup days, Rabs, when you used to tell us that the match will be decided in the third quarter. A big stat on the Broncos. The last 10 matches have not scored a point in the 10 minutes after half-time. It's got worse the last 5 weeks. Haven't scored a point in the 20 minutes after half-time. It's going to be a crucial period in this match tonight.
The vital third quarter, you mean?
That's it.
Thaiday. Oh! Ben Smith went up top. So did Morrison, and they both came up with nothing.
That's one.
Grove and Smith make the tackle.
Unusual to see Ben Smith up there, but Glenn Morrison doesn't have much margin for error when he goes in on tackles.
Costigan with the ball. Just inside 30. Played back to Berrigan, who's been good. Barry, that is, the dummy half. Nothing wrong with Sean either, but Barry particularly has been very good, the number 9. Tate plays it. It's gone over to Barnes. Then on to Hunt. Short ball away. And that's Thorne on the 40-metre line. Seymour wanted to pass to a runner, but nobody wanted to run. 3 minutes to go, first half. 8-point margin, Brisbane leading on Nine's Friday Night Football. McKinnon uses Burt. Now, small man on small man, and Burt exhibits strength to brush away from Seymour. Taken by Costigan, fenned by Tahu. As he comes to Darren Smith, he bumps away from Darren, and then Costigan goes in over the top, and Smith combines. They make the tackle on Tahu. Marsh gets it on to Kalis, and Kalis makes about 7 metres. 14-6, third tackle down inside the last 2.5 now. Moy over the halfway. Good run. Thaiday making the tackle together with Darren Smith. 41 metres out from the Brisbane line. PJ Marsh weaving and looking for an opening, but Berrigan comes up and makes the tackle. Plays it now, and it comes back and away from Withers to Tim Smith, who puts a kick out to the right, but it's diffused out there very quickly by Leon Bott, who hasn't had a big content. The ball comes loose.
Already held lost it.
He will pack a scrum. They've got about 2 minutes of time. And they'll pack it quickly, Parramatta. You watch this.
Well, the Broncos are livid. They're saying that that had to be a knockback. There's the timeout now. The Parramatta front six already set.
Come on, Tony.
So they'll get a full set of six without error. There's Bott getting tackled by Marsh and Morris. Yes, and it did come out forward before going back.
So Parramatta now down by 8 in the shadows of half-time. Played by Tahu after the tackle of Barnes. Tim Smith in, away, stepping off his left foot. 10 metres away. Costigan low, Friday up the top. Morris dummy half. Tim Smith, a handoff for Stringer. Stringer's taken down. Good tackle. Friday over the top of Berrigan underneath. Marsh, the dummy half, angles. Moi has pulled down a couple of metres out. And again, a great tackle by Friday. Magnificent entry into the game. Stringer has a go. Offloads the ball. Now Marsh looks for an opening. Ferrets his way around. But he's held by Carroll and Thorne. 8 metres out from the line. Fifth tackle gone. Tim Smith taking control. Wants the ball. Goes to boot. Puts it on its end. It's rolling there for Brent Tate to deflect it over the dead ball line. There's a minute to go.
Yeah, there won't be any hurry here from Brisbane. They'll waste as much time as they can before they're forced to take the drop out, or the referee will signal time out for enough time wasted. Couldn't come back any slower. Good Derek Barnes. There it is. 45 seconds.
How good has his performance been, Pete? Thaiday.
He's been great. What a tackle there, as you pointed out.
Where we go?
So here's the time back on, and here comes the dropout off the boot of Barnes. 45 metres on the carry. Moi runs at Darren Smith and Brad Thorne.
Luke Burt raced through in the previous set of 6 about the third tackle, looking for a Tim Smith kick. Might go for it again.
Stringer then. 25 out in an upright tackle. Played back for PJ Marsh. Off it goes to Tim Smith. Tim Smith holds it back, gives it away. Morris gets it on. Tahu puts a kick in. Parramatta might score. No! A flying Leon Bott together with Luke Burt. They made the final contest of the first half. Matthew Johns is on the sideline as we go to half-time with Darren Lockyer.
Well, Lockyer, everyone's saying that the Broncos look tight and they look sharp tonight, mate.
Yeah, a little bit different to last Friday. The guys are looking good.
Mate, bad second half record over the last 6-7 weeks. What do you think Wayne will say at half-time?
Oh, we just got to, make sure we're not making errors in our own half and get in the field position we need to keep the pressure on.
All the best for the second half.
Thanks, mate.
As Wayne Bennett, he would be over the moon with the performance from his team. Down at least, I'd say, 5 of their first-grade players. I'm talking about regular first graders, and they're leading by 8 points at Parramatta Stadium in this battle, perhaps for the minor premiership. It's certain if Parramatta wins, they'll be minor premiers, but not so Brisbane. But this has been a performance just full of guts from Brisbane, and I'm making allowances for the fact that Parramatta did lose their number one weapon, Nathan Hindmarsh, in the very early part of the game. But if you're going to bring that into the equation, then you start talking about Darren Lockyer and all the rest of it. You play with the cards that you're dealt, as Kalis takes them out this time. Kalis started from the bench. The plan was to give Michael Vella as much match time as he could, but Kalis was thrown into the game after about 3 minutes when Hindmarsh was wounded. And Andrew will have an accurate update on that. They're talking cruciate ligament and they're talking MRI scans tonight, as Parramatta comes back, conceding a start of 8 for the second half. Blue and gold flags are waving. They came here thinking that, I think many of them came here thinking this was just a matter of going through the motions. But you can never feel that against Brisbane. Every time they've had their back to the wall after Origins and they've fielded a substandard or a decimated side, is a better word to use, they've taken victory home with them. Reserves keep warm, keep loose. Crowd packed in. Great stadium, as we talked about in the first half.
The first 40 minutes from Brisbane, it wasn't anything out of the box. It was just full of control, plenty of enthusiasm. Their execution was far better than the opposition. They took advantage when they got to the right end of the field, just two big men crashing over after some pressure. Parramatta have got to take a leap out of that kind of game book and come up with the same kind of performance as we get into the second half.
Which is underway now, and Moi is the first to carry the ball. He takes it back 22 metres out from his own line and tackled immediately by Thaiday. Morrison taking them on with a head charge. And Costigan was the chief tackler. Now Stringer, three men involved. Pick him up, put him down. They really gentled him down, Berrigan and Thaiday, with Carroll over the top. Widders tries to put on a little bit of light foot stepping. As Kalis takes the hit up from the dummy half. He's been more of a wide runner since Hindmarsh went. Tim Smith, that kick fielded on the full by Hunt. And Carmichael Hunt brings it back 25 from his own line. 14-6 then, a minute gone, second half. And a new face on the park there for Brisbane. It's Eastwood. Thorne trying to play the ball. Morrison getting tangled up with him. Darren Smith on the halfway line. Is held there by Stringer and Morrison. Play over on the eastern side of the ground. This is Eastwood. Dropped down heavily there in a two-man Parramatta tackle. Ben Smith. Morrison bleeding there from a wound around the top of the nose as Seymour calmly drops it onto the right foot. And McKinnon's going to have to play at this. He might not get it back. Does a nice sidestep, uses the uprights well. He's tackled by Thaiday. It would not take the extra roll. It would not do it for him. Growth trying to get up and play the ball. It's held by Seymour. Morris tries to come away. Taken by Thorne. Now Widders gets away from one, taken in a second by Thaiday. Gee, I'm calling his name a lot. He's really, really busy though, I've got to say. Here's Marsh, Andrew sideline.
Yeah, you mentioned Greg Eastwood out there, 18 years of age, the junior Kiwi captain this year. Big lump of a kid too, as a kick from Tim Smith and taken down in the play by Neville Costigan. That'll be a penalty to Parramatta. Yeah, Eastwood out there. He's on for Berrick Barnes. Berrick Barnes concussed in that tackle by Fui. Moi not expected to come back in the second half, so big chance on debut for Eastwood. There's the shoulder of Costigan. Wayne Bennett to his Broncos players at half-time, we're told, maintain the confidence that you played with in the first half. And from Brian Smith, his chief concern, the error rate in that first 40 minutes. And for those who have missed it, the news on Nathan Hindmarsh, Michael Johnson, the Parramatta doctor, he's trying to tee it up so that Nathan has an MRI scan on his knee tonight. They will know later tonight if they're successful with that.
Moi down the western touch line, taken by Sean Berrigan, defending left side for Brisbane. Stringer held by Barry Berrigan, slipped a pass, good work. Widders had a little bit of hide and seek with his opposition number. Takes it down to the 20-metre line, 15 in from the eastern touch line. Now Morrison decides to have a dig. He knows he's got the markers in all sorts of trouble. He'll play the ball 12 metres out from the line. They come back towards centre ground. Tim Smith waving players around him. Moi goes for the hole, but the hole is closed by Thorne. 10-metre line on your screens. Parramatta attacking the southern end of the ground. That's where we are. Tim Smith. Morris indicated he wanted a kick. Great shot by Carroll, put him to sleep very quickly. Now it's with Kalis. He puts in a kick. They turn around Brisbane, and I think it went dead off Parramatta. No, he's ordered line drop out Brisbane.
He's saying that Hunt had to pay at this. Here's the hit from Tony Carroll. The play the ball was slow. Smith was waving all sorts of instructions, and Tony Carroll said, well, hurry up, son, because here I come. Make up your mind what you're going to do. Good work by Kalis, get it in the end goal. Hunt had to play at this. Line drop out. Good work there by the captain. Tony Carroll. Didn't he line him up?
That's a huge play from Nathan Kalis. It could have all gone awry. Front row, you think just might take the tackle or put it dead. Well, he's got the restart.
And it wasn't such a good drop kick either. Moi is playing a most important role. He's up to the 20-metre line. Brisbane's end of the ground. First tackle gone. Marsh, 12 away from the uprights. To the left they go. Tim Smith using Dean Widders. Widders standing, looking to unload. They pick him up and rattle him up and put him down. Darren Smith, the tackler. Now they come away for Moi again. 2 metres out from the line. Fourth tackle gone. Dummy half Marsh. Berrigan sick. Not well. Now it comes from Tim Smith. Out to John Morris. He's got Kalis with him. Loses the ball in the tackle. And Carroll comes away for Brisbane.
Great defence by the Broncos, great defence. They were really tested there around the middle of the ruck, and when Parramatta went to the edge, they had bodies in motion, but they didn't panic. Came up with a big hit on the ball receiver, forced it loose.
Might have been that man there with the football now, Sean Berrigan coming across.
He plays the ball anyway, and it's Leon Bott who's tackled about 32 metres out from his own line. Berrigan pass away that's going forward, and this is going to give Parramatta another great chance.
I don't know that there shouldn't be a penalty to Brisbane, because there is no doubt that Berrigan is impeded by the Parramatta player laying in to play the ball. Now, if Berrigan knocked this on because of that Parramatta player, now that the Parramatta's going to get a penalty for back chat. Someone's had something to say with it. Someone in the Brisbane side agrees with me. Yeah, Thorne was saying, we should have got the penalty there, and the referee said, well, you can't talk to me like that, get this into you.
Stringer then.
Movement.
Parramatta with Marsh a dummy half. Now Tim Smith. Here is Ben Smith coming in on the charge. 5 metres away from the Brisbane line. John Morris for Tim Smith. Holds it back, double pumps it, gets it away. Widders is over. Widders has scored for Parramatta on the back of a penalty that Brisbane believe and Phil Gould believes should not have been given to Parramatta. Kick to come, Brisbane by 4.
Well, that's great work there from Tim Smith. He has a bit of an explore, and he gets to a defender to come in that shouldn't have needed to be employed by the Brisbane defensive line. It's great work. He does a bit of exploring. If he frees it there, he'll go in there, then he'll come in here and have a look at this player. He's forced to get involved when he shouldn't have been. Gets around a man, and all of a sudden turns Brett Seymour around, created something out of nothing there, did Tim Smith. And Dean Widders off the bench is their third highest try scorer in the squad. What an effort.
Drama at the referee. Brad Thorne has gone up to Simpkins again and had his say. There's Dean Widders. So often this year's come off the bench and blown a game wide open. That was beautiful ball playing from Tim Smith. Beautiful ball playing. And good work by Widders to just be so patient before hitting the right hole. Luke Burt to get them within 2. Game on.
And Burt, he doesn't let them down. Now, this was the penalty.
Yeah, it was. Now, in the play the ball, Berrick Barnes has got a play between him and the play the ball. If Berrick Barnes knocked this on, John Morris would have been penalised. But it forced the play the ball to be slower, and therefore the forward pass. Thorne has gone to the referee then and been penalised for back chat. Now he's gone to Simpkins and stated his case again. He's saying he was in the play the ball. If he knocked it on, it would have been an infringement. Simpkins is saying, well, I don't know what he's saying. He's probably saying you're right, but I made a mistake. Get on with the game.
So Parramatta with Vela. Mind you, it wasn't as vivid as I thought some people thought it might have been. You know, the players are often trapped in behind the play the ball. It's when they obstruct the attacking team. I don't know that there was any intention to do that.
Well, that's the decision that's got to be made, whether the tackled player had ample time to get out of the play the ball area. The referee has ruled that he couldn't get to the side, was in the way, and didn't have a chance to get out. It was just unfortunate for Brisbane. Could have gone either way, went Parramatta's, and they've capitalised with Stringer now going centre field on the last.
So it's a 2-point ball game, 14-12 in favour of Brisbane as Smith kicks. And Minto down around his feet, picking it up, 10 away from his line. He made it out to the 20-metre line as Hunt goes into dummy half, waving arms around. And Tate it is, who's made a couple of incisive runs in the first half. Moi now has got ice on the left shin bone area. Now Barry Berrigan down the right side. Costigan is with the ball. He's close to the sideline. And the ball is loose. It's a penalty to Brisbane.
Raked out 2 and a tackle, the ruling. Probably believe this would have come from the far touch judge as well.
Oh, what a terrible decision.
Can't do that.
What a terrible decision. No matter what you say.
He's actually got Eric Growth. Eric hardly had time to make a decision of what he was going to do, let alone decide to rake the football.
Here's Thaiday. 28 away from the Parramatta line. Centre ground, Barry. Costigan, his head went jolting back on the supporting shoulders. Playing at 20 metres out, Kalis got him with a good shot. Then Seymour, now Hunt, inside, floater for Carroll. Carroll, tackled by Withers. They're 10 metres out from the line. They go to the middle. They go to Seymour's right foot. Morrison, desperate. Cleans it up. Puts the pin back in the grenade.
Teams that are good for scoring from kicks are also good at defending to kicks. You've got to be very, very good to squeeze one behind Parramatta and not have someone react immediately. Morrison did very well there.
Tahu did very well too there, not to come out of that with a nose all over his face. He's run straight into the knee of the Brisbane player. Now they're 10 out from their own line. They're struggling. They're really struggling to get it out. 5 gone inside the 20. And Smith stutters on both feet and then gets the ball away. It's 31 metres out from the Parramatta line, and Bott cleans it up. And he then shoveled the ball back infield to a support.
Very clever. Very clever. He was going to give possession back to Parramatta there. The tackler had every right to push him across, but Bott kept it in the field to play to a teammate.
Repke played it back for Barry Berrigan to dummy to Sivanasiva and then try to break between Kalis and Vella. He's tackled right on the 20-metre line. Parramatta's end of the park, 14-12. Brisbane leading on Nine's Friday night of football. Last weekend of football. What a weekend as Thorne makes a determined charge. And he plays it 8 metres out from the line. Berrigan away to Hunt. He flicks it up off the ground to Darren Smith. Close to the line again. Sivanasiva looking for his second try of the night. Change over.
Yes. The old saying, champions get beaten, they don't get beaten the same way twice. It was the same play as the first half where Sivanasiva scored. Parramatta will wake up that time, even though it was tackle 5. But they're doing it hard to get out of trouble.
Growth. Penalty goes to Parramatta. He's gone past the horizontal. It's Brad Ford.
Head or neck in a dangerous position.
Well, we've spoken to Greg McCallum about this. Past the horizontal's got nothing to do with it. Apparently it's about getting the tackle player into a dangerous position. And that's the ruling on that one, despite the fact he landed okay.
Hold.
So Marsh takes the tap and Vella drives it up towards halfway. Marsh now for Tim Smith to the halfway for Stringer. And then for Morris. He beats Seymour. Seymour comes again. There's a second dip at him. This time he wins. Now Widders, dummy half, dummies open side, goes blind. Tahu with those feet of his, so quick.
Yeah, he's your match winner.
Now Marsh to the middle of the ground for Kalis to go on, for Tim Smith to hold it back, then floats a pass out, hoping the winger came up. The winger did come up. Growth is close to the sideline, close to the try line. Parramatta with Brent Tate making a save. Exciting stuff down the left side. 14-12 Broncos as we take a break. Nine's Friday night football. It is tight here. It is 14-12.
Gee, this was great play by Tim Smith to get Growth away, and Growth trying to keep the ball back in field. It was picked up by a Bronco anyway. Referee ruled the ball went forward, even though he got rid of it before he went into touch.
Minto is put away. 11 out from his own line after Brisbane won the restarting scrum. Thorne, who's having a running battle with the referee at the moment. Berrigan out to the 30-metre line, the number 9. Played it back to Tate. Tate goes to Sivanasiva. Sivanasiva runs at Kalis and Widders and Vella, and they put him down. 32 metres out from the line now. Berrigan again, giving good service from dummy half. Seymour to Webke on the inside, and Webke is met by 4 of the Parramatta defenders. 40 metres out from the Brisbane line. Now they go across to the second receiver for Hunt to put a kick in. It's not that bad. It's landed between fullback and winger. It took McKinnon a little bit of time before he actually took possession of the ball. He's tackled inside his own 30. That's the kicker, Carmichael Hunt. Now with Luke Burt, trying to circle them a little bit, but he's picked off by Tate. Tim Smith, a dummy half. Now for Eric Growth Jr. Good run just in front of that commercial break. 7 changes made by Brian Smith. Now Wayne Bennett has levelled it up at 7 as well for the Broncos. Tahu, very slippery, isn't he? They've got to keep a close eye on Tamana Tahu. Marsh from dummy half as the game deepens. He gets better. Stringer, Smith, now Burt. Oh, good play. Riddell, this is excellent play. Ben Smith goes to Carmichael Hunt. He's tackled 8 metres out on 5. Now Riddell, long pass, high to Tim Smith. They want the kick. There's the kick. There's the bat down. Parramatta, Brisbane planted the ball, I fancy. No, he said they didn't. And Brisbane have got the ball.
Can't believe the Broncos diffused that. Parramatta had all the numbers there on the kick. Now we're getting a stoppage in play.
2.
I think sometimes players go a bit overboard with knocking the ball back. I think Ben Smith had a fairly easy catch on that one and could have thrown a pass to any one of 2 or 3 support players.
Over there.
It was a beautiful passing rush by Parramatta. The hands in that manoeuvre to get Smith away down the left were sensational. The kick was good. Tahu got above the pack but just couldn't find another Parramatta player.
He was a bit disappointed, Ben Smith, on the far side. He was looking for Eric Growth to come back inside, but Growth had been involved in a hit up 2 rucks earlier and hadn't got back into position.
Webke played that ball. Hunt. Ball has gone away to Eastwood, I think it is. Played back for Barry Berrigan, then to Seymour, now to Darren Smith, and this is Eastwood with the ball. So the 16 played it, it was Darren Mapp. Eastwood playing it now. Back to Seymour. And he puts the ball down into the arms of McKinnon. Good returner of the kick. Burt is taken down by Bott. Just inside the Parramatta 40-metre line, McKinnon to Tahu. Tahu trying to bust through the middle. He just keeps threatening, doesn't he, Tamana? Here's Morris going away from dummy half, a position that he handles very easily. Now it's with Growth, and Growth gets it up to the Brisbane 40-metre line. 3rd tackle gone for Parramatta. They're down by 2. Widders, Tim Smith, Michael Vella. Vella held by Sivanasiva and Webke. Berrigan having a piece of it. 32 metres out from the Brisbane line. Here's Marsh again, holding it back. Dummies. Let Kalis run the decoy for him. Takes it down to the 20-metre line. 71-metre gain. 5 tackles gone. Parramatta. Kalis, off it goes. Tim Smith puts a left foot kick in. The weight is okay. The weight is good. And Minto has to take it dead.
22 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this game. 2 points of difference. This will now come down to who wants it the most. Who mentally and physically can draw on themselves the most. Individuals will be waiting for their opportunity. Tactics have now gone out the window. It just comes down to who can drag it up from their guts and get it done.
It's a very good period for Parramatta. The body language for Brisbane behind that line dropout. They're looking a little bit tired with this constant pressure. But are the Eels good enough to get the ball over the line?
Here, Barry.
Vella then plays it inside 30. Kalis gets it up to 20 and beyond. 15 out now to be accurate. 3 of them make the tackle. Webke was one of them, Berrigan another. Now it comes from Marsh. It's gone right for Morris. Morris to the line, passing on the line. Widders in and away off his right foot. He will play the ball quickly if he can. No, they hold him down. Held down by Seymour. Brings a groan from the crowd. It goes away for the kick by John Morris. There's a chance for Kalis, but no, Darren Smith is there to clean it up. Line drop out.
Gee, their kicking game's been good. They've only come up with the 1 try, but they've come up with a few restarts and line dropouts. The Broncos are hanging on. This is the Parramatta's good period. Parramatta are playing so well at the moment, and it's up to the Broncos just to hang on. You see them behind the in goal there. They'll just be yelling at each other. 1 more set, 1 more minute. Just defy them 1 more time. It could turn the game in our favour. They've got to defend this set of 6. They won't want Parramatta to get to the front in front of this crowd at any time.
The minor premiership there for Parramatta if they can win it. $100,000 and a chance for Brisbane to put their nose in the frame as well. Vella taken down, 15 away from the line. How much more can they hold out? Brisbane, Kalis thumping it up, beating them, coming up. Now he gets it away. Riddell for Ben Smith, and Ben Smith is close. A metre from the line. Riddell is the dummy half. He passes, it goes wide to the right. He wants to kick Morris. Here's Vella. Vella's over the line. That must be a try. Michael Vella has scored. Tim Smith has done exactly what John Morris asked him to do. But Michael Vella has come up with the try.
Yeah, I don't think the right man got the football from the intended kick. There's no doubt John Morris calls for this one. And some Brisbane players, they weren't sure that Michael Vella got that football down cleanly. They wanted a video referee decision on that one. But the referee had enough faith to say that there was no problem with it. He goes to the line, as we freeze it there. Look at John Morris pointing. He wants the ball to be coming over here. It gets a bit of a rebound and ends up back in that way, in the path of the try scorer Michael Vella. There's the rebound off the boot of Shane Webke into the arms of the number 16 who started the game. We can't see from that angle him getting it down, but the referee, he was in great position to call and said that it was fine.
What a great story this man, Michael Vella, this year. Earlier in the season, such bad news, but he's come back from that illness and is now going to play a part in finals football. He's grabbed a very important try in this game. And again, it comes back to the Parramatta kicking game. The instincts that this team has got, the way they respond to each other. As soon as Morris put his hand out, Tim Smith did not hesitate. He put the ball where he wanted it.
Burt from in front. Burt converts. Andrew sideline, Parramatta in front now.
And have a look and have a listen to this crowd right now. They're at their most vocal. They're at their most exuberant right now. And it's been the third quarter of the match that has inspired them, Ray. Just like the old EBCO Cup. 14-6 half-time. Parramatta have kept the Broncos scoreless for 20 after half-time. It's the 6th straight win. The Broncos haven't scored a point in that quarter. And the Eels at the same time have come up with a dozen.
So Brian Smith has taken them to the finals 6 times since 1997. He views the minor premiership with scepticism. They won it in 2001, but they lost the one that mattered to Newcastle. Ben Smith is with the ball. He's just inside the 40-metre line.
I've got to disagree with you there, Ray. Brian Smith is the one coach who's really talked up winning the minor premiership. He says it makes a statement. It says that you go into the final series in a better position than anybody else because you finished on top. He wanted it desperately. He wanted it badly, and he'll be wrapped if he can get that result tonight.
Vella then, he plays the ball. 38 metres out from the line. Marsh to Smith, and Kalis trails in behind. Smith in the meantime was barreled by his namesake, Darren Smith. Smith's all over the place. Again, there's 4 in the game tonight. As the ball goes up into the air and battered down by Parramatta. Withers will recover for them. He then puts it on the ground, rugby union style. It's still on the ground, and Robinson shows it to McKinnon. And then it goes across the line to Marsh. He puts in a left foot kick, and there's Eastwood going back to take it for Brisbane. And Marsh barrels him down. So Tate comes away for Brisbane. Swerves away from an exhausted Marsh. And he'll play the ball 28 metres out from the Brisbane line. It is 18-14 in favour of Parramatta, the premiership leaders. Minto. Thaiday. Impressive. Darren Smith over halfway. Signs of Parramatta giving latitude to the runners now. Hindmarsh on crutches with young Anderson, the brother of the former coach. Now Burt.
Stand out.
Heading for Hills Private, I would imagine. Hindmarsh, McKinnon across and around. 35 metres out from the Parramatta line. Here's Robinson. Robinson near halfway.
He wanted a penalty, Robinson. He thought they were all offside.
Tahu, dummies one way, goes the other. Mapp is the tackler. 9 changes for Smith. 9 changes for Bennett. 2 of the great coaches head to head here. Morris, a fend, and then takes it to ground with him. He's been great this year. He, Kalis and Tim Smith, they haven't missed a game. Now Tim Smith, he puts it in the air. Carmichael's got plenty of time to think about it and look at it and take it. Magnificent take.
It was a super take. The ball got away from him late and he was able to readjust his catch just in time.
He's not well, Peter. He's not well. Don't tell me Brisbane has suffered another injury to one of their out-and-out stars.
Just got a glancing blow there from Mark Riddell as he went past, I think.
Take him out the back.
I think it was the initial tackle on the first chaser, Riddell.
One. Ready.
Just clipped him. Young bloke will be okay.
Sivanasiva brings it out towards that 30-metre point. Darren Lockyer surrounded by Justin Hodges and Corey Parker and the other unavailable Broncos, which reminds me of just how big this effort by them, win or lose, it's been. Stagg, Carlo, Parker, Hodges, Lockyer, Maguire, they'd all be in the 17 without any argument. Here's Thorne. There's Berrick Barnes, concussed. High shot from Moi Moi, it's gone on report. Now Webke with this, I don't know what to call it at the moment. It's obviously an effort of great gallantry. Nobody knows better than Shane Webke just how gallant he's being out there. 1 week off with what we thought was a season-ending knee injury. The question now is, can Hindmarsh do the same? Played by Burt. McKinnon running into Seymour and Berrigan and Sivanasiva. Ice on the ankle of Michael Vella, who got the try that he really wasn't supposed to get. Moi Moi. Chad Robinson.
They've just come through a very good period, Parramatta, and they're just showing signs of starting to tire. This set of 6 has been a poor one. All one-out runs. That can just give the Broncos a fresh breath of air if they get the ball in good field position. Parramatta just gone off the boil slightly.
Look at this kid, Tim Smith. He just waits them so well. It's up to the chasers to confine the runner. And Morris and Widders, they confine that run from Minto to the 10-metre line. Now Brisbane 15 out from their line with Sean Berrigan playing the ball. And then Leon Bott brings it away, the school kid.
Mind you, the Broncos haven't got much left in them either. Broncos of forming years would have been looking to spread early. Now it's tackle 4. They've had 4 one-out runs. They're looking for reserves of energy.
66 minutes gone in this tussle for the 100 grand and the Gilton and Shield. There's the ball out the back from Seymour, picked up by Hunt, who wasn't keen to run. He passed immediately to Tate, and Tate is tackled a couple of metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. 5 tackles indicated by Simpkins, and Hunt is obliged to kick, even if he is a little bit wounded. Marked there easily by Luke Burt. He goes over the 20-metre line. He passes to McKinnon, and Tate comes up and makes the tackle. So Parramatta are 25 away from their own line. Growth takes a dummy half run over the 30, 35, up towards 40, and eventually he puts the flag up and says, I'm tackled. Andrew sideline as Parramatta get it up towards halfway through Tahu.
Yeah, they do, and the crowd vocal again. Look, the news on Nathan Hindmarsh. Further update. He'll in fact have that MRI scan within the next 10 minutes. We will have the result, we're hoping, before the end of the post-match show tonight. All the latest news on Nathan Hindmarsh in the post-match show tonight.
Played there by Marsh. Off it goes from Robinson to Stringer. He's angling across the ground, and he'll now play the ball 32 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone, 37 metres gained by Parramatta. Into the hands of Morris, who puts it on its end and then pumps it high into the air. Hunter's getting underneath it. The bat down for Robinson. Bounces badly for Morris. Picked up by Tim Smith. Floats the ball over to Widders. Widders puts in another kick. Back goes Leon Bott. The weight was perfect on the kick. Parramatta will try and sting them, and they have. They've got them, netted them in the in goal. We will take a break. Brisbane, when we come back, another line drop out. They are exerting enormous pressure. 18-14, Hindmarsh going for an MRI scan. 68 minutes gone, all happening at Parramatta Stadium. Welcome back. Nines, Friday night football.
I said it with 20 to go. Now with 12 minutes to go, it comes down to who wants it the most. Have a look at these young Warriors. Their legs are pumping. Their lungs are screaming. They've got to come up with one more big effort. He won't play a part, Berrick Barnes.
Moi Sivanasiva launching himself with Webke, and that line is the 30-metre line. On the first tackle, a Stringer bumps away from Webke. Friday makes the tackle with an assist from Mapp. Marsh goes left for Tim Smith. Decoy run from Riddell. It's gone on out there to McKinnon. McKinnon refusing to go down. Now he does. Attracting plenty of defenders though. Play on the eastern sideline. They're 15 out from the line as it comes from Tim Smith away for Moi again. Moi taken down. Fourth tackle gone. Parramatta leading by 4. Coming up to about 11 minutes to go. Tim Smith for Winners. Winners not held. He'll score. Winners goes over. That's his second try. Dean Winners not held in the tackle. Entitled to get up and go again. And the super sub gets his second try.
Yeah, Dean Winners, what an impact. And again, it's just great line running. And he's got every right once the defenders fall off to get up and dive across. Nice pass from Tim Smith. Would have been very easy to throw a forward pass in this situation. Telling his players where to go. And as we freeze it there, he started off coming this way and then he straightened, does the ball runner. Now as play continues, you'll see the defenders come in. As we freeze it again, there's one defender falling off, there's another defender, neither have got hold of him. Play continues, Withers gets up, dives across, gets his second, and maybe the match.
What a magnificent transition this man has made, not only to his body shape, but to his rugby league career. Withers loving every moment of this new passage of life that he's got in the game.
It's 11 tries for the season now, and he would have started maybe 1 or 2 games. You know, he gets game time, but that is a great impact off the bench, isn't it?
Luke Burt converts. Luke Burt converts. It's 24-14 is the minor premiership at Parramatta.
Well, if it is, this man's had a lot to do with it, Dean Witters. We talk about his football, we eulogise what he does coming off the bench, but let me tell you, Dean Witters is one of the nicest young men you will ever meet in your life. He came down to Sydney to play football and to make a life for himself out of football. He's educated, he's smart, he's articulate, he's passionate, and he's worked so hard on himself to become a first-grade footballer of great value to his team.
Gus, I think you're saying we talk about footballers as being role models. I don't think that's the case. I think parents are the case, but if you want a role model out of this game, Dean Witters fits the bill.
Oh, yeah.
Bust again by Parramatta. And this is McKinnon making a big run incisively. He takes it down, and they're 10 metres out from the line. Looking to wrap the minor premiership up. PJ Marsh, Tim Smith, they want the kick again. It's taken by Burt. Burt scores. Burt scores. Parramatta are 28-14. That's the Gilderman Shield. That's $100,000. And Hindmarsh, who won't go for the MRI scan, sits back and adulates his teammates.
Well, the wingers are having a ball on the end of the boot of Tim Smith, but I think he made something that should have been pretty easy, a lot more complicated than it should have been. But I'm not going to take that away from him. It takes confidence and poise to come up with precision plays like that. But you will see they had plenty of troops there, did Tim Smith on his outside. Wade McKinnon said he's got to be in good form to keep Joel Reddy out of the top side. Well, he's justified the faith being brought back into the side after 1 week in Premier League. They're shot. The Brisbane defence is shot. As we freeze it there, we've got one defender, maybe 2 you could say, but have a look on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. The try scorer is number 4 as play continues. The kick flat. Luke Burt flies high. Equalled his own record in one game last week, did Luke Burt, with 28 points.
See, the beauty of it is that's the way they practice. That's what they do at training. That was breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. Not only the kick and the precision of it, is that Luke Burt knew he was going to do it. Luke Burt knew they had the numbers, but he just looked at Tim Smith and said, this kid's going to kick. I've got to get there. Brilliant stuff.
Now from the sideline, he's missed it. Parramatta, the chant is there. We are number 1. The fans are having an absolute thrill of an evening. 28-14. We'll go to a break. And remember the Hindmarsh results of the scan in the post-match tonight. Here's a break. Back in a moment. Nines Friday night football, and Brisbane perilously close to getting that over the line on the full, but Tahu is with the ball. Down, up again. Thaiday had a go at him. Tahu beats him again. Tahu, a couple of weeks out injured, but gee, I'll tell you what, he's showing me some signs of the best that he can play, Tamana. Possession 57% in favour of the home side. 28-14, they get a penalty, Parramatta, in front of a capacity crowd of just over 20,000.
So we talked about the interchange in the first half too. Wayne Bennett didn't have many interchanges in the first half. Brian Smith had quite a lot more. Now sometimes too fewer interchanges can leave you wanting a bit at the back end of the game, and I think that's happened to the Broncos tonight. Brian Smith interchanged people even though they weren't tired and has brought them back fresh. The Broncos weren't interchanged early, used up a lot of petrol, came to the sideline, but the break has done them no good, and Parramatta have just finished over the top of them with fresh legs. Sometimes too fewer interchanges really hurts you at the back end.
Stringer. Parramatta about to claim the minor premiership for the 5th time in their history. Morris trying to unload, but Seymour wraps him up 21 metres away from the Brisbane line. Robinson, and a little pass away to Kalis of no effect, of no value. Riddell, then Stringer, ambling his way up to Big Sivan Asiva. Don't lose sight of the fact, as you might rejoice tonight, the Brisbane team decimated. Here's a drop goal from Riddell, and it's gone and plugged in goal, really. It's gone out to the 20-metre line for the restart.
Oh, he's duffed a chip there. That's gone nowhere, didn't go near the post. I'm not quite sure whether Brian Smith will be too impressed with it either, to be quite honest. It's not the play that they'll be looking to come up for or within finals. They are 14 in front, so I guess you get to make decisions like that at times.
It's Bradley Thorne, 40 metres out from the line. Riddell barking instructions.
Just spare a thought for Brian Smith too, and I've been in this position. You've got a real big game here tonight for the minor premiership and to cap off what's been a great home and away rounds of rugby league. But in the first 2 minutes, your number one player is taken from the field and may not play a game this season. The things that are going through your mind on the sideline as you try to concentrate on the game and not think about the weeks ahead without Nathan Hindmarsh. The coaches, he can't celebrate this win, Brian Smith. There's no joy for him here tonight with this performance.
Sean Berrigan, left foot step, left foot swerve, and then a right foot kick. And it's fielded over there by Riddell, who succumbs in the tackle in the field of play so that there would not be a line dropout. Now Parramatta have to get it away from that line safely. Widders throws a pass that goes into touch.
He slipped.
Brian Smith, the man that Phil Gould is talking about. He's lost his star player in the opening minutes. He's going to win a minor premiership again. But there'll be no joy, there'll be no rejoicing for him, knowing that, as I said earlier, he's lost from his artillery the Ray Price of the modern era. And those of you that saw him play would know exactly what I'm talking about. 10 metres out from the Parramatta line. Brisbane winning the scrum. It's gone over and across for Hunt to give it on to Tate, and Tate gets a kick in before Smith makes the tackle. It's gone out on the full.
Yeah, that's been his only bad decision tonight. Brent Tate has been a star for the Broncos. Made a couple of early busts, a great try-saving tackle on the far side of the field on a flying Eric Growth. Bit of a brain explosion there. The game's gone, so it's not going to cost them too much. Also a brave effort from Shane Webke. Medial problem in the knee. The initial prognosis was 4 to 6 weeks. He said he'd be happy to be back in 3. He's missed 1 game.
So Parramatta with Ben Smith bustling and bruising his way. That's Darren Smith. And this is Chad Robinson. Andrew made reference to a thing that I used to do, the Amco Cup in the 3rd vital quarter. A bloke called Ray O'Donnell was sitting next to me all those years, helping me to learn about the game, and I didn't know until tonight that Ray hasn't been well in Gosford Hospital. Ray, if you're watching, all the best. from Riddell. It's gone through and it's gone on to Widders and given on to Morrison. Morrison, he chances a pass back on the inside. Thaiday relishes that and takes it about 7 metres into Parramatta territory. It loses the ball. Parramatta have got it with Morrison picking it up, and Simpkins says play on, and Morrison is tackled on the halfway line. What a weekend of football we've got coming up. The Tigers have got a tremendous appointment coming up when they play the Panthers. The Roosters play Canterbury, but can Manly snuff them all out with a win against the Raiders tomorrow night? And then who's going to finish up with that big spoon, the big dreaded spoon? Sunday football on 9, Dragons Knights. 4 o'clock Sunday on 9, Dragons versus Knights, and that will be a packed Oakey jubilee, believe me. There'll be no pies and sausage rolls and what have you after about 1:30. So get there early, because Gus will buy the rest of them. Now it's with McKinnon. Certainly take the bulk of them. 21 metres out from the line. Parramatta about to win premiership or minor premiership 5. They did it in 2001. Widders round the corner pass goes over the sideline. They previously won minor premierships in 77, the year the Dragons belted them. In 82 they won it, at 86 they won it, went on to win the premierships. And there's Tim Smith and there's Michael Vella, a couple of the stars. Vella bagging the try that, well, I suppose he knows it really didn't belong to him, but PJ Marsh up there.
He put himself in a position to score that try, Michael Vella. That's what you've got to do. Sometimes you've got to chase football when you know that it's not meant for you or not going to come your way, and every now and then it does. As Costigan boots one through in the final seconds. Parramatta, can they finish with a flurry?
Well, Bert's got to get around the back of Leon Bott. Bott bats it over the dead ball line. That is it. The clock is reading 0-0-0. Parramatta, you can put some zeros behind the 1. They've won $100,000. The minor premiership, the JJ Gilden Shield. 28-14 at full time. They gave an 8-point start at half time. They started tardily against Canberra and came home with a full spinnaker. Tonight, they've done the same to a decimated Brisbane. I've got to say that, because when they come back with their full issue, don't write them off lightly. Let's go down to Matty Johns. He's in and around them right now.
Yeah, Rabs, I'm with Paul Stringer, one of the new signings. Well, String, first year, minor premiership, with bigger fish to fry. Very satisfying, huh?
Yeah, it is, mate. 3 wooden spoons to a minor premiership. It's a big change, and sorry about that, but I'm loving it, and it's great. And we need to kick again in the semis.
Mate, look, tonight for yourself, I thought it was personally probably one of your best games. Were you conscious of who you're up against? Webke, Sivanasiva, Thaiday, those guys?
Oh, yeah, mate. They're the best front rowers in the game. They're Australian front rowers, and they're the benchmark. And if we want to win games, me, Kalis, Mick Fella, Fui, we've got to lead from the front. Hopefully that's what we've done tonight.
You're doing a great job. Congratulations on your string. I'm going to walk over, talk to a bloke in Glenn Morrison. Mate, what did you think when your partner went down? Hi, Marsh.
Mate, it's a big loss. He's our main man, and I thought I'd have to play a few more minutes than I wanted to. And mate, the boys lifted really well. The forwards played really well, and got the win that we're after tonight. What
about the kicking game from Timmy Smith tonight? I thought it was his kicking game that probably won it for you in the end.
Yeah, mate, in the second half we wanted to build a bit of pressure, and he got the balls in the end goal, and we got repeat sets, and then a little kick for Birdie like that at the end, that's what he's about.
Look, Glennie, I'll ask you, I'll put you on the spot. First versus 8. It could be the Panthers, it could be the Roosters, it could be Manly. Which one of those sides do you fear?
Mate, all of them on their day are great sides, so we just wanted to try and get this win, so we got the second bite of the cherry if we need it, but mate, anything can happen in semi-final football.
Sure, he's playing fantastic. Congratulations. Guys, we're going to walk over and talk to a guy now who's been through great times, and he's been through hard times as well. And the captain, it must be very satisfying, Nathan.
Yeah, great effort by the boys. First half was a bit dodgy, but second half was awesome again.
What does this mean to you? I mean, you were there in 2001 in good times, and now all of a sudden you went through bad times and we're back again. You know, I mean, what about the circle of it?
Yeah, I suppose it's just the way it goes, you know, salary cap and all that sort of stuff. But I think, you know, the boys that played back then were a lot more mature, and we've got a lot of experience in the team. We just got to keep our heads down and just keep working hard.
Why did you start on the bench tonight?
Smitty just wanted to give Mick Bella some game time, just playing back into some form, and he was awesome tonight. So was Fui, Paul Stringer, they've been awesome all year.
Nathan, what about this crowd? Hey, they're screaming, power up, power up. It's like, you know, you've got history beckoning here.
Oh, it was awesome when we ran out. They'd started it straight away, so it was a great atmosphere, and hopefully we can just keep building.
Nathan, good on you, mate. Enjoy it. Back to you, boys. Back to you, fellas.
Okay, Matthew, well done down there. Yeah, this crowd really got involved for that second half when they could see their idols bringing home the minor premiership. Will they bring home the big one on the first Sunday in October, I should say?